Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Wolf Crawl. A few minutes riffing on IT and IT security. Today, looking around controls for password resets. Nothing more exciting than passwords, right? But it is an interesting way to demonstrate some fundamentals of security. You know, if you think about like Karate Kid, like wax on, wax off, right? That's how they taught the kid to fight karate. Strokes with the paintbrush, right? All these repetitive things, simple things repeated in a way that demonstrates a higher principle. And I think one of those simple things is passwords. One of the higher principles is how to get product in the door. That's what we're talking about today. But tip for you, password resets are a complex thing. Make sure you're doing them safely. Make sure you've got a process for notifying users, and make sure you got a process for forcing password resets. Here's what is. In the event that a password is lost, which happens all the time, you don't want to just let someone call the help desk. Right? Hello, no, I'm totally Wolf. Yeah, don't I sound like Wolf? Come on, give me Wolf's password. I mean my password. And they're like, sure, here's your password. I was talking to a company this week, and they're like, we did this in our boardroom to demonstrate it. And now they go, sure, here's your password. They also said, oh, it looks like you have an administrator password. Do you want us to reset that one too? Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So make sure you can authenticate somebody. How do you authenticate them? Make them come down and show ID? Some people do. That's kind of hard if you're a global company or a big company. Second thing is have them demonstrate their ID somehow. Sometimes companies use that by reading off their badge number, but that could be easily found information. Sometimes people use that by reading off their equipment ID number. Kind of interesting. Also, though, it can be something that can be reproduced. And then, of course, there's challenge questions. Set up your account, give a challenge question, and go. There's a whole slew of things about challenge questions I'm not going to talk about. But, of course, there's controls there, too. Next thing is, once you're validated, having the ability to change that password over the phone or through a form. Then notifying the person the password changed. A lot of times we don't do this. We see it all the time online, right? Go to website X, go to Twitter and change your password. And Twitter will say, hey, you changed your password. Did you know you changed your password? We can do the same thing in the enterprise space. And the reason that's there is, of course, if it wasn't us, if it was someone pretending to be us, because they sound like us or have their ID number or have a piece of equipment or whatever, remember what school I went to as a kid, whatever, you have that extra step, right? That ability to catch it one step further. Now, that's one person resetting passwords. Another thing that I think we need to think about, oftentimes overlooked, is the ability for us, the systems administrator, to reset a whole bunch of passwords. I'll give you a scenario. We've got 2,000 users, massive phishing campaign, 200 people clicked the link. We know they clicked the link. They probably were compromised. We don't know for sure about that, but there's a big likelihood that they were. Do we have the ability to reach out and reset all those 200 users and tell them that they need to change their password? Not easy. So what do you do with these types of things, right? Where it's a manual effort. This goes to the process, program, product routine that I like, right? Wax on, wax off. Process, program, product. Start with the process. Security habits. Perform simply. Perform regularly, right? And in the right way. After a while, you start to see things you can do better, things you can do more efficiently, what works, what doesn't. You put that into your program. When it's in the program level, you're aligning it with the strategy of your team, and you are documenting those habits in a way that that is reflective of the process and the policy. Then you start capturing metrics. How often do I do this? How often does it happen? How long does it take? Those things, now that you performed it for a while, you've written policy around it, you've built up the habit, you've built up the successes, those things become your use case for why you need a product to automate password resets, password notifications, and so on, right? This exact same process applies to just about any security program and product ever, but particularly relevant for this one. So if you want to go and say, hey, I'm going to save $12 a password reset, you've got the data in hand before you're trying to make the business case, and they're like, wait a minute, we do password resets? So what do you think? Am I missing anything from the whole password reset? Is there any other caveats? Hit me up on social media, comments. Have a good weekend.